Hello. Hello. So excited to be here with you all today. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. I'm the host of the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, also the founder of a company called Speak Your Way to Cash, where we help speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, and experts land 5 and 6 figure corporate speaking contracts. That is really where we like to focus, where we like to play in the marketplace. And what makes us unique and different is that we really focus on those larger contracts. So I got a question in from one of you because, as you all know, we've been going live for the last few days talking about. Someone's like, I didn't know you sing too. Talking about how to land corporate contracts and some of the biggest issues you all have had in landing corporate or collegiate contracts. And I got a question in. It wasn't even phrased like a question. One of y'all wrote in. They just don't like my prices. Okay, like they ain't playing with my prices at all. And so I want to talk about what to do when you get pricing objections. What to do when you get pricing objections. And I'm excited to have this discussion. It'll be a short one because there are a couple of things that I want you guys to consider about pricing objections. So number one, before you ever talk about price, you need your client to buy into the value. Before you ever, if you're taking notes, that would be point one. Before you ever talk about price, you have to make sure they bought into the value. And what that looks like is ensuring that you are really doing a great job of explaining to your ideal customers the value that you provide in the marketplace. So you want to make sure that you are explaining the value that you provide in the marketplace. And you want to make sure that they're bought into the value of your offer before you present your offer. A big mistake that I see is people talking about their offer before they've gotten buy-in on the value. So we're in a place right now where we've onboarded a few different sales professionals over the years. I've trained sales professionals. I've worked in inside sales. I've done all the things as it relates to inside sales. And a big mistake that I saw with people who were struggling to make sales, struggling to connect with customers, is they talked way too much about the offer without first getting the person on the phone to buy into the value. So for instance, if I am in the market for a brand new car and the sales rep at the car lot is trying to sell me an SUV, I don't need no SUV. I'm not in the market for an SUV. I want a car. So it doesn't really matter how great, how skilled, how amazing, how Picasso or Houdini this dude is. He's selling me on a product that I don't see any value in. So it doesn't really matter what the price is. Whatever it is too high. So first, did you get them to buy in to the value of your offer before presenting the offer? That's number one. Number two, and that could go with like prospecting and pitching. Are you targeting the right people? Which is why in the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge, y'all, we start with who do you pitch? Who are you pitching? Who are you looking to sell to? And making sure that you're targeting the right people. That's a really important piece of this. Like you want to make sure that you're targeting people who find value in it. We sell to people who want to get paid to speak. If you have zero desire to get paid to speak, it don't matter how amazing I am at sales. You're just not interested in that. You see what I'm saying? So that's number one, if they bought into the value. Number two, how far off are y'all on price? And is what you're selling something that is negotiable, like you have some wiggle room on the pricing. Something to note is when you're selling speaking services and speaking packages and all of that, there are times where we may negotiate with the end user, with the organization to decrease our services to meet their budget. Now, note, I said that if we're going to negotiate, we're going to take something away. We're not going to negotiate against ourselves and allow them to keep all of the things while also reducing the price. That's not how it works. But maybe there's a way for us to reduce our services and take something away. In the coaching space, that's really not as much of an option for me. Like I'm not haggling on the price. The price is the price. There may be a fast action bonus right now. If you want to come to our Speak Your Way to Cash live event and you get your ticket before the end of this month, you will get a special rate because you're in early bird pricing. So that's a way you can get a particular discount. But if someone comes to me and they're like, Ashley, I don't know, I don't have the $2,500 or the $3,000 to come to Speak Your Way to Cash live. I got $500. What can I get? Not a seat at this event. You could maybe get my book. You know, my book is less than that. You could buy a VIP seat at the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. Like that's within that range. But the event No, because every single person in that room paid to be there. And a reason why we keep our event prices the way they are, a reason why everyone in our event room paid to be there is because it's only fair to those who are attending. How would you feel if you went to an event, you paid 10 grand to get in the room, everyone else there though paid $1? No, because if you're like me, you pay to go to events where they have a $10,000 ticket or a $20,000 ticket or a $30,000 ticket, not just because of whoever is hosting the event, but because it qualifies those folks who are in the room too. So there's some value to everyone there being invested because it also raises the caliber of conversations you get to have with the other people who are attending. So people who come in our events, they pay to be there. That ensures that our attendees are networking with folks who understand the power of investment. There is a totally different conversation in a room where everybody is free 99 in it than there are in rooms that I've paid good money to be a part of. I could tell y'all, because I've paid tens of thousands of dollars to be in rooms. And I can guarantee you that the conversations I have with those folks is very different. I've paid $50,000, $60,000 to be in a particular room. We're going to an event in September. We paid 55 grand to make sure we were in that room. So when I go, I already know those businesses are generating revenue. Those businesses likely have teams. Those businesses that are represented that paid that investment to be there, they can teach me a thing or two about a thing or two. You know what I'm saying? So like, I like paying to get inside rooms because typically it's a barrier to entry and it means that not everyone will be there. And that's a good thing for you because in the entrepreneurship world, in our space, there are so many events you can go to, rooms you can go to, things you can do. And when it's free, it's haphazard. When you pay, you really are paying to be in that room. So short detour to say that is why we, some rooms that we host, you have to pay to get into. Here's another thing though, you all. So you want to figure out, number one, the first thing is like, did you communicate the value? The second thing is like, how far off are you on price? And is there room to negotiate or not? Some things that you offer, you may have negotiation potential. Other things that you offer may be non-negotiable. You should figure that out at the outset. But I want you all to start thinking about the rooms that you invest to be in as like a red rope. Like, I want you all to start thinking about the rooms that you personally invest to be in. If there's a free ticket and there's a VIP ticket, don't be so attracted to free. Now, here's the thing. Some of you all can literally close your ears on this. If you are someone who wants to attract free clients to your business, who wants to give away all of your services, then you should stay attracted to free. You should stay looking for free, cheap, and fly away. Like, that's what you should do. But if you're someone who's like, nope, I want to be a premium brand, then you should become a premium consumer. And you should look for ways to be in VIP rooms. You should look for ways to invest so that you understand what people who invest think, feel, and do. And so that you can get around more people who invest, because those folks are going to be way better at referring you business than people who are doing all the things for free. Okay. So I just want y'all to think about that. Okay. Now, the third thing to think about, you want to figure out what's your get out of bed number. So because some people are like, yo, Ashley, they came back and said they don't have a budget. When a client comes back to me and says they don't have a budget, I do not immediately assume they don't have a budget. It seems counterintuitive. What I do is I'll ask them, hey, sounds good. I'm going to go back and talk to our team to see the best we can do. Can we meet next Wednesday and you let me know your absolute best number so we can see if we can work within that, instead of just throwing the deal away? I have found tens of thousands of additional dollars in clients' budgets just by allowing them to go back and double check. I just allow it. And let me tell y'all something else. Those little forms y'all have that's like, hey, give me your budget here. People never, I shouldn't say never. People rarely give you their top line number on your form that they're using to book a call with you. So when someone goes to book a call with us, we will ask, like, what's your budget? Whatever they put there, we do not assume that's their top number. We assume that may be their ideal number. That may be a number they like. That may be a number they think they are tied to, but that's typically not their top number. What does that mean for me? It means don't get caught up in looking at that number and saying, oh, now I have to, like, this person doesn't have a budget. I got to get rid of them. I can't work with them. You never know. You absolutely never know. We had a client who was like, they didn't have any money. I was like, well, my rate's 15 grand. They were like, we could do 12. I was like, it was like 10 minutes, y'all. It was all of 10 minutes. They found $12,000 in 10 minutes time. So all that tells me is there are some people that will do it for free, and they're always going to try to go for the people who will do it for free. But if they like you, you've shown the value, they've come to you, they've seen you speak, they may come up if you're trying to get your speaking fee. But this goes the same way with clients too. Now with coaching clients, for my coaches out there, any of you all coaches, drop coach in the chat if you're listening to this live. Drop coach in the chat if you're a coach. If you are a coach and you are selling products and services and you want people to work with you, you should have a variety of ways for them to get started with you. So for instance, we have a financing partner. We have different payment plan options, some on the website, some off the website. We have a variety of ways for people to get started with us that we can very clearly and easily explain. Sometimes people have they can budget for your services. They just need an easy way to see how it'll make sense for them. So can they pay weekly? Can they pay bi-weekly? What does that look like? Having more payment options can be a real benefit to your client and to you. And don't make it hard for them to give you money. Just make it easy. Make it easy. So if that's something that you offer as a coach, like you really want to make sure that you have a variety of ways for them to pay. Same with corporations. They may have to write you a check. Is that information ready to go? They may want to pay an invoice. Is that ready to go? They may want to use a credit card. Is that ready to go? They may want to do a deposit. Can they do that automatically? Like from the time that someone says yes to you, how long will it take them to pay you? That's what you want to think about. Like, man, how hard is this? How long is it going to take? Why is it taking so long? What does that look like for them to pay me faster, sooner, quicker, and get that done? You want to have payment options. Have payment options. But to all of you, here's what I will say. My husband brought this to me the other day. He was like, you know what? For corporations, we do have different payment options. Like they can write us a check, they can pay our invoice. Those are the two that we do most often. But you should also ask them, like from your vending process, how do you like to pay your vendors, and in what time frame? So you should ask the company how they typically do it. But we have invoice, they can write us a check. Those are the two ways we have for them. We don't have financing options for corporations though. So they can't we don't have them apply for funding and do anything like that. But keep that in mind that you should probably have at least a couple ways for everybody who you take money from to pay you, and make it really easy and seamless and have it ready to go, because otherwise it just takes too long and you don't really want to do that. So one of the things that I will say, you all, my husband brought this to me, is he was like, every time someone pays us, it becomes real for them that someone will pay them the same thing. So before I spent 60 grand on a coaching program, I really didn't. I was like, I didn't really have a concept of like, oh, people will pay 60 grand for a coaching program. With like I get like a call twice a week. It ain't a lot at all. Right. So in paying that money, what it did was it unlocked the possibilities for my business. And one of the things that I would say to y'all to think about is, am I communicating to my clients the blessing that is them investing in themselves? Because it's not just, oh, you're investing in my business, I'm getting rich. It's you're investing in your business, and you're realizing that by you spending this money, some other people will spend that money too. And then when you walk into the room and you see hundreds of people have invested in this particular thing, you realize it's a lot more people than I thought that would also invest in this as well. And every time I invest, I think it's a seed. And so I know, okay, because I've invested in this, I can expect a return on this investment. And it has nothing to do with the coach. Like a lot of people get caught up in the wrong things. And to me, the wrong things look like, oh, I just spent this money on, I spent money on a coach last year and I really didn't like her and she did this to me and that to me. It's like, honestly, who cares? That's the wrong thing. Who cares about that? The real beauty is you invested. And if you go into, let me tell y'all how to never lose money on an investment. Do y'all want to know? Drop never in the chat. I have never lost money on an investment. Never. Number one, I'm going to tell y'all this secret. If somebody can sell me, they could teach me something, because I'm not out here gullible buying every little thing. So if someone can sell me, they can teach me something. So if you sold me on a particular product or on a particular service, and I'm seeing the nevers come in, then I'm going to ask you questions about your sales process, because clearly it was impressive enough for me to buy it. That's number one. Number two, I do not keep my eyes on the leader of whatever program I'm buying. So for instance, some people go to church, they're like, oh, well, the pastor does this. I don't like that the pastor does that because it's not right. That's why I'm leaving the church. Foolish. I never do that. When I go into anything, like I'm buying I won't say foolish. I mean, if y'all don't like your pastor, then, leave, whatever, do what you got to do. But if I go into a coaching program and like the main coach is like, let's say the coach is at the top of the program, they do a call every other week, whatever. Okay, that's great. But the reason why I like group coaching programs is because regardless of how prolific the main person is, everyone else in the room invested. And they all invested with that person. So I can go in and say like, oh, this is so dope. I'm in a room with hundreds of other investors. Let me find out everything I can about the commonalities. Let me find out everything I can about why they invested. Let me find out everything I can about what impresses them about the particular program that we're in. Is there anything that they would love to see different? Is there anything that they've like it is like being in a world of market research. Literally. So I never lose. And if I can walk out with 2 or 3 new homies, then I really ain't lost, because relationships have the potential to pay off for a lifetime. So when you go into these programs that you've invested in, these events that you're investing in, these challenges that you're investing in, don't just look at the leader. Don't just look at, oh, it's Ashley's program, we have to get close to Ashley. No, I mean, sure, you could get close to me. No big deal. But you're going to do even better getting close to the hundreds of other people coming to Speak Your Way to Cash Live. Because there's more people. There's more opportunities to collaborate. There's more opportunities for knowledge to be learned. The community is the vibe. The community is the cheat code. And so I go into all these programs, and I don't care if that coach were to backflip off a wall and not do anything. If I can go in and I'm able to meet all these incredible people who've also invested at a high level, my life will be better for it. I've had 2 or 3 conversations today directly tied to different communities that I've invested in. Some tied to the Speak Your Way to Cash community as well. Just because we have a whole community. Whenever one of my clients, my corporate clients or my speaking clients, wants to do something with me and I can't do it, or the date isn't good, I don't just let the client go. I immediately refer them to someone in my mastermind or someone in our community or someone in our academy. Like immediately. It's not even a thought. So you can't really lose if you look at the other people in the community. Some of you all didn't like college. Now, let's talk about it for a little minute. Let's talk about it for a little minute. Some of y'all didn't like college. You're like, oh, my college experience wasn't great, blah, blah, blah. Why did I go? This is so dumb. You want to know why you think that? Because you haven't tapped into your community. College is the best thing ever. I went to college at the University of Illinois. I went to law school at Northwestern. Both of them are Big Ten schools, both great schools. Northwestern's like the top 10 law school in the world. Ain't no way I'm going to Northwestern and not leveraging the community. My first year in business, I sent out all of these messages to people who were directors of HR who went to Northwestern, not just the law school, the undergrad or the master's degree program. And I asked all of them to do market research with me so that I could figure out how to price my corporate offers. I booked 20 calls off the strength of the relationship because of the community of Northwestern. I did the same thing for the University of Illinois when I wanted to change my offer and switch things up. Like literally, you have to be the type of person who just like I feel like I made a determination that I'm going to be the type of person who wins. Okay. So anyways, y'all, I gotta go, but I want you all to sign up for the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge at pitchyourwaytocash.com. Literally go to pitchyourwaytocash.com, apply to attend the challenge. And when you get there, what I want you to do is apply to attend the challenge. And once you get there, I want you to select the platinum ticket so we can do a platinum Q&A together during the challenge. Get the platinum ticket. Do not get the free ticket. We just talked about it. When you get the VIP ticket, you're actually in a whole different room than those folks who get the free ticket and have to join via the Facebook group. We have a whole VIP Zoom room that we'll all be in together. So I will see y'all there. I'm excited about working with so many of you in the Pitch Your Way to Cash challenge. It will change your life. We'll talk about who to pitch to that actually has a budget, so you won't have to deal with some of the pain points that we touched on today. But I will check y'all out in the challenge, and I'll see y'all soon.